Hello, I'm the Sorceress for saucerecipes.tv. Now, no hot dog is complete without mustard, and ham without mustard is a poor thing, and a sandwich without mustard is hardly a sandwich at all. So mustard, as well as being terribly good for us all, is actually a condiment that we can't do without in our kitchen. Now, obviously, you can buy it ready-made, like this French one, which is quite expensive. You can buy a mustard powder, which is what I have here, and you can get it in seed form. And this is the real material. There are yellow mustard seeds and brown mustard seeds. The brown ones are a little bit spicier than the yellow, so most people, when they make mustard, make a blend of the two. Now, the only problem with these little mustard seeds is that they're extremely hard and extremely small and extremely difficult to deal with. And in fact, I don't have a grinder that can deal with this. I don't have a coffee grinder, which could do the job. There are also some dedicated burr grinders and spice grinders and things to process nutmegs in and all sorts of tools, but I don't have one of those. So I'm going to be using the prepared powder today. Now, the value of making your own mustard is, first of all, so that you can control what's in it, but secondly, you can control the flavour, so you can make different kinds of mustard to go with different types of food. And of course, it's much cheaper to make your own from scratch than to buy the very expensive, fully ready-to-use variety. So, with my mustard, I'm going to use the powder. I put a little damp cloth down so that my bowl doesn't slip. And it's very important not to use aluminium or aluminum bowls for this, because you're going to be using acid, as in vinegar, and lemon juice, and that often gets discoloured by that metal. You can use glass, you can use china, you can use stainless steel, but don't use aluminium. So my mustard goes in to the bowl, and for the first stage I'm just going to be adding a little bit of cold water. Now, one of the difficulties is that I'm not giving you any quantities here, because it's really a matter of taste and judgment, and that's why you can flavour it as you wish. So I'm just going to be adding a little bit of water at a time to get the mustard into a smooth paste. And look how it's plugged up my whisk. Perhaps I'd be better using a wooden spoon for this. But no, I think it's going to be all right as the liquid goes in. So I'm just going, it's very absorbent, and I'm just going to be whisking around until it's the paste is a fairly thick consistency, because I'm going to be adding other liquids in a minute. And it's looking a bit creamy, which is nice. And I'm just going to let that sit for about 10 minutes, and I'll come back and we'll finish the mustard. Okay, so my mustard has had a little time just to absorb the water. And we do it with water first because it stabilises the mustard before we start adding the flavourings. So I can add all sorts of things now to my taste. And oh dear, the fumes are getting into my eyes now. I have here some verjuice, which is a wine byproduct. We have cider vinegar, regular wine vinegar, this one with tarragon flavouring. And I also have lemon juice. Now, I need to add acid into the mustard. So I'm going to use, first of all, some lemon juice. Just squeeze that in to taste. And then I think I'm going to use the tarragon vinegar today, because I'm also going to be adding some tarragon, dried tarragon herbs. So I'm just going to add that, mix that in, and I'm also going to add a little bit of salt here, just a little pinch, because I don't like things too salty, but just enough to bring out the flavour. Now let's taste that. That's very good. I'm going to add some dried tarragon just not too much, but enough to give it a nice little bit of colour, and also to add an extra dimension to the flavour to complement the wine vinegar, and some pepper. Now, if you want it to become a real yellow colour, as you see this is quite pale, if you want it to become a real yellow colour, you would add some of this, the turmeric. That's what most of the yellow mustards have. It's really a colouring agent, doesn't do much for the flavour at all. Now what I have made here is extremely hot. It's English style mustard. There are several ways you can make this toned down. You can add wine instead of vinegar, which gives a different flavour to it. But the best thing you can do is to keep this vinegar out of the fridge, but in a sterilised glass jar, and let it sit for about 10 days before you use it, if you want to tone it down. The longer you store it, the more mellow it becomes. So right now it's got a bit of a raw taste, but it's going to mellow as I keep it. It doesn't have to be kept in the fridge because the mustard has various antibacterial qualities of its own, and the vinegar helps in that too. If you keep it out of the fridge, it mellows quicker. So I hope you enjoy the mustard, and do try making some yourself. It's a very good inexpensive gift for people if you don't want to spend a lot of money but want to give them something luxurious. And you can add all sorts of changes of flavours, and it's a very, very versatile ingredient to have in your cupboard. I'm the Sorceress for SauceRecipes.tv. Bye!